Mort. Hey, Mort. 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 Hey, Mort. Go, Mort.
Today's episode is going to be action-packed. I'm going to my favorite community yard sale of the year. I mean, this is the place where years ago I found the greatest find in the history of Mort's game hunting journeys.
This happens. This is something that happens. It's something that happens.
It is packed with people, and you've just got to get there at the right time. The first spot I find stuff at is because someone left some things behind. I happened to come across a couple of very awesome and valuable manuals. First one here, we got Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, Donkey Kong, Jungle Beat, Super Mario Strikers, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. While I'm there, more people are coming up and asking, do you have video games? Do you have video games? They bring out this box of games, and sure enough, there's a bunch of PS1 and some PS2 titles. I'm gonna go through these really fast. Here, this is all of them. ESPN X Games Pro Border, Cool Borders 1, 2, 3, and 4. A couple of James Bond games. Boom. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles.
Here's some money. Go see a Star War.
Vigilante 8, a worthy and wonderful rival to the Twisted Metal series. Spyro Year of the Dragon. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Crash Bandicoot with no manual. And Crash Team Racing, one of the best kart racing games ever made. You can't have a PS1 without Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Part 1, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Part 2, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Part 3. Part 3, you can just go right to the next generation version of that. Skip this one altogether. There's also some PS2 games in the lot. Spy Hunter 2. This is probably the era where Spyro really started to lose the quality and great gameplay that we know and love and went really firm into mediocre territory. Almost none of these have manuals in them. Or anything like that. But you don't care about manuals, so I'm going to edit that part out. I left it in. And then as I'm digging through the box, I notice a clear green PS2 controller. It's broken. But of all the things he had in the box, probably my favorite thing was this carrying case for the PS1. This was made by Sony. You'd put your console in and travel with. This was my favorite find of the lot, and probably of the whole entire garage sale, yard sale portion of my morning. Gonna sort of, you know, strike having a I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is staying in my collection. I sold it. Everything was $2 to $5 each, and they just got rid of them. How much do you want for the manuals? And they just kind of were like, whatever. So it's about 8:30 in the morning or so, and nearly every garage or yard that I'm at, hey, do you have any video games? No, you're like the 5th person to ask me. So I gotta change up my strategy, and I start asking people, hey, do you have anything else in the house that you haven't brought out yet?
We have Wii.
Nice. This place did. Mario Kart on the Nintendo Wii. They only wanted $5 for it. Also, I see loose discs of Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort all the time, but not always cases. They had this case though. She only wanted $2 for it, and I was happy to do that.
Some decent stuff so far. Not like the best morning ever, but certainly promising.
So I'm at my next stop and I say, hey, do you got any video games for sale? They say, we've got some Wii games in the console, but the console's not really working. Are you still interested in the games?
And we had other stuff too. There was
the U-Draw.
The draw thing. We had the step pad.
And it's basically a bunch of shovelware. However, they did have Wii Sports. I think this is just design-wise one of the most brilliant, easily accessible, quick, fun games you could play. And a couple of Mario titles were in there too. Super Mario Galaxy, obviously one of the best Mario games ever made, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You know, I'm just gonna see what do they want for everything. How about $25? Deal. My daughters love the Enchanted Princess games. If you have very small children, I'm talking like 3 years old, 4 years old, basically your character can't die, but you still fight bad guys. And they also had this U-Draw tablet. It is a confusing piece of technology. I hate it. This pen will, like, you tap down on it and you press into the side of it. In theory, this is such a great idea. In execution, it's painful. There's a Just Dance 2 in here. The Toy Story Mania is pretty good, but in general, I sort of regretted it almost immediately, but I also didn't because, you know, it's 25 bucks. It's all good. Thanks for watching me try to justify making a bad decision with my money. And we're driving around and I find this other location and they got Splatoon 2 out there. I actually really love Splatoon. I didn't like it on the Wii U. It wasn't that it was bad, it just didn't grab me. Splatoon 2 is outstanding. It's a great way to get into the series. It's a very active, constantly updated shooter that has a wonderful twist on the shooting mechanics of the first-person shooter genre. The emphasis is not on deathmatch. You're trying to take over their territory by painting the ground. Same situation. There's no games out front, but I asked this guy if he's got any video games. He goes, you know what, my son's got a few games that he's thinking he wants to get rid of. Come check it out. He shows me a picture of what's there. I kind of picked through it, decided to make an offer on these games. So number one, Soul Calibur 3. This is exclusive to the PlayStation 2. Soul Calibur 3, though, was its own thing. It didn't come out for any other consoles that generation. It also came with a bonus disc that had demos on it for other Namco titles. The Simpsons Road Rage. Again, this is a shameless... I just bonked myself in the head. Let me try that again. This is a shameless ripoff of Crazy Taxi. One of the most underrated shooters of all time, perhaps. Metal Arms glitch in the system. It's this sort of weird, sort of almost South Park humor mixed with third-person combat and a brutal difficulty at times. How about the original cartoon Solid Snake? That's right, Sly Cooper and the Thievis Raccoonus. The sneaking gameplay is a great introduction towards more sort of hardcore stealth games like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell. Confession time, I don't get Gundam. It seems like one of those properties that has a universe that is so huge that the entry point of, like, how do you even begin is so complicated and complex. You're a mech in kind of a 3D space and you're flying around and you're shooting the bad guys. I played this game for about 30 minutes. It just did not grab my attention. If this were a garbage or gold episode, this would be garbage for me. The son doesn't really know what he wants to sell them for, so I make an offer on them for about a few bucks each, basically offered 50% the value. When people ask me, what are they worth? What are you going to sell them for? I will tell you. Not everyone wants to go through the hassle of listing an item, purchases, returns, customer service. I'll do all that stuff. I'm good. And my last stop of the morning that I'm at, again, don't see any video games out. Do you have any video games for sale?
What do you want for all of these?
Yes, we do. You're actually the 10th person to ask me if I have video games, and then the neighbor comes over and goes, yeah, everyone's asking about video games. What is the deal with video games?
I'll tell you which ones I really want.
Okay.
These ones. These are the ones that I really want.
I think this is probably, outside of GoldenEye N64, probably one of my favorite James Bond titles. The multiplayer had people over recently, and we played a bunch of multiplayer of this game. A lot of fun. The Bible game. Praise the Lord. Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. I think it's an RPG. It does have the official Lord of the Rings movie trilogy stamp on it, so... Praise the Lord. NHL Hits 2002. They started here on this version of the game, and then they upgraded it later to Blitz or Hits Pro. The difference between Pro and just regular is that the Pro ones went for a little bit more of a simulation.
20 bucks.
Okay, you gotta film too. Let's go.
So it was definitely a case of quantity over quality at the yard sales, but I didn't pay much for these games. I think the most I paid for any of the games was the Gundam game. I paid, I think, $10 for. Splatoon was $20. Everything else was between $2 and $5 each. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to turn around a lot of this and be able to add some things that I want in my collection. But it was a fun morning at the yard sale, but I still kind of felt like something was missing. There's another day of game hunting to be, you know, explored.
Look at this. We're filming. Let's go. Watch out, watch out. You just bumped into someone. No!
Stop talking. We gotta find him.
Whoa.
All right, I got a collector's hot tip for you here from my buddy Daniel.
Yeah, okay. If the case has a hole in it, it's probably less valuable.